Lawrence Okolie just made Ebenezer Tetteh quit, and Tony Yoka knocked out Patrick Corte in the first round. So yeah, really dead event. Honestly, the production was awful. Everything about it was awful. The atmosphere, the crowd, awful. It was an absolute shambles, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, look, Tetteh quitting. I mean, after the second round, after he got knocked down, he got up, laid back on the ropes, didn't even want to be there. I don't know why the referee didn't step in when he didn't even want to bloody engage. Yeah, look, Okolie did what he had to do. Went in with a big power shot, set it up behind the lead hand, big right hands flying around from him. Through with some decent volume as well, to be honest, Lawrence Okolie. That's good to see from him. Yeah, to be honest, since he's moved up to heavyweight, I guess he's been a bit more engaging, a bit more entertaining. Thinking of it, the Renner fight wasn't exactly great, though, was it? But yeah, look, did what he should have done. It shows how past it Dillian White was as well. The fact that what Clark and what Lawrence Okolie have now been able to do to Tetteh. So yeah, Tetteh retires just before the start of round three. Sorry, yeah, he didn't want it. He shouldn't. He probably shouldn't fight again. He should probably retire now. You know, he's had some big fights. White main event, Clark co-main event, and Okolie main event. So 3 big fights all in a row. Yeah, that's it now, because you quit like that, it just shows it's not for him anymore. He's lost his heart for it now, Tetteh. It's a shame, he's a real tough guy, but yeah, that kind of showed he's lost his heart for it now. His heart's not in the game anymore. But Okolie did what he had to do against the opponent that was put in front of him. God knows why the fight even happened. Should never have happened. I mean, yeah, what the bloody hell was that? What the bloody hell was that? Why that fight happened, I don't know. It should have been Okolie versus Yoka. Like, let's be real. It should have just been Okolie versus Tony Yoka. I don't know why that wasn't the fight that was meant to happen in the first. Sorry, I've got a sore throat. My voice is going all weird. But yeah, I don't know why they couldn't have just done that, because at least it could have been a bit more engaging. Tetteh got knocked out by Fraser Clark in the fight before this in the first round. And we saw how Clark did against TKV the other week. So, yeah. But with Lawrence Okolie, needs to be a big 2026 for him. I think, once Caballero's done with Naiba, just make that fight. Make Caballero versus Okolie for the interim WBC title. And then we'll go from there, see who gets an opportunity. But yeah, Okolie has a chance against Caballero, but he won't win. He won't win that fight against Caballero, but he has a chance if he uses his range right. But he won't win it. But I think there's other interesting fights for him. I do want to see the Riatpur fight, because that was a fight that was originally meant to happen. So I think it could be a good idea to go back down that Riatpur route. Riatpur's coming off a win over Tommy Welch. So again, they might as well go back and do that if Okolie doesn't want to take the Caballero risk. But again, there'll be money in that Caballero fight. I feel like they might as well do it. It's only in a few weeks as well, so it makes sense timeline-wise for them to fight, because they would have fought around a similar time. So I don't see why that can't happen. If they do, and even taking damage, do it in April or something like that. I think Caballero should blow Naiba out to there in 3 rounds. That's my opinion, 3-4 rounds. But look, we talk about Tony Yoka now. Yeah, again, did what he had to do. Used his range well, similar to Okolie. Used the jab well, followed through well with the backhand. And yeah, some good straight shots from Yoka overall, trying to set up his man for the uppercut, which was a very good uppercut that landed on Corte. Corte kind of landed into the clinch and then just fell back. People said it was a push. Yoka didn't really push it back. He literally just, Yoka was still like that. Corte then just fell down. So, yeah, it was poor opponents for them both at the end of the day. I don't know. I didn't really see the point in them having to do warm-up fights for 2026. For Yoka, I kind of get it. He's still building off of those 3 back-to-back losses all in a row. But I think now he's 4 wins on the bounce now, Yoka. Not really against the best opposition, though. But now it's time to really do something in 2026. He needs a big fight. Well, big-ish fight. I don't really know what he does. It'd be interesting. Again, he could have just done the Okolie fight tonight, but again, if you think about it from an Okolie perspective, that probably would have been good actually. But if you think about it from a Yoka perspective, it probably might have not ended too well for him. If we're being honest, it probably wouldn't have. But for Yoka, we could see him fight like Dillian White or something, I reckon. Probably win that now. Yoka, yeah, he probably would beat Dillian White now. So they could as well just do that. Yoka and Nelson Heiser, I reckon that's a good fight that they can make. Yoka wins that, probably. Mudov and Yoka, again, these fights are unrealistic, but I mean, Mudov, they could just go and do that in France or something, I reckon. But it'll be interesting. There's no more messing about now. I don't want to see any more messing about from Yoka. It's a big fight next. But yeah, for Okolie, Caballero fight's got to be there, or the Riatpol fight if he doesn't want to go down that route. But ideally, the big fight for him and Caballero, that makes sense completely ranking-wise. It is Okolie versus Caballero. That is the fight ranking-wise, which should be bloody happening if we're being completely honest. So, yeah. But look, it was a dead event, to be honest. We got 2 quick finishes, though, from the 2 heavyweights that were on the card, the 2 guys that the people were tuning in for. I don't know how well that event would have done, to be honest, because production-wise, it was awful. They were showing replays during the fights. Like, since when have they bloody done that? There was no atmosphere during that one great fight as well, where both guys got dropped in the first round. You know, that was a fantastic fight for that full 6 rounds. And there was 0 atmosphere throughout it. Shocking. But yeah, and no atmosphere during the heavyweight fights. No, when there was a knockout or anything. But yeah, whatever. Thanks for watching.